Years ago, farmers would turn this wheel to help direct the grain as it went into separate compartments here at the grain elevator in Warren. I'm Laura Ravy. Welcome to Open Road, and this is Gail Spencer-Lamb. Now, you're from Warren, and you're part of the group of people helping to save this elevator because it has some really important history, agricultural history, but also just Manitoban history.
That's right. We have a few elevators left, and luckily our town really wants to keep this one.
And you had mentioned that even in southern Manitoba, days ago, an elevator like this was knocked down. So, I mean, people aren't keeping these around anymore. They're not really used.
No, and they're really reluctant to keep them because they are white elephants. They're expensive to maintain.
So, for people who maybe don't know a lot about agriculture, why would people use a grain elevator? What is the space for?
Well, we're standing right now in what is called a shed, and the trucks, or in the old days, about 70 years ago in 1948, we had this place built. The wagons would come right in here onto this scale, and their grain would be weighed along with the wagon. Then the grain would get dumped down inside what is called the hopper. In the early days, they might have had to have a pulley system to tip the wagon or drive it up onto ramps. I've heard of both of those being done. Okay. Now we have trucks that can do that for themselves. They have hydraulics, but that didn't happen that way a long time ago. Once the grain was weighed and tested by the manager here, as they poured it out, they tested it to make sure that some of it wasn't too dry or too wet, because it could combust and set the whole place on fire just by itself if it was too wet. The grain would be moved up this, which we call the leg, and it would be scooped and taken all the way to the top of the elevator, and this wheel would be used by the manager here to direct the grain to whichever bin he wanted to store it in. Well, all the wonderful construction here, another thing you'd mentioned, the wood was built flat side down, so it's very sturdy construction, but even so, all those years later, there's still some areas in the roof that need some repair. And this is something that is sort of an ongoing project for people here in Warren to try and keep maintaining this. So what needs work here? Well, immediately we need to reshingle our roof, because if you look up, you can see that you can see the specks of light coming right through, and the rain comes in, and especially in the last few days we've had with the terrible rain, there was a lake in here. And we also have a lake in the office, which I'll show you after. The ceiling's coming down, all our ceiling tiles are coming down. So although the building is really sturdy and quite safe, if we don't take care of it now, it's going to degenerate.
Okay, and there's big sort of ideas and dreams for this space, because the Prairie Dog Central Railway actually turns around here, so you get loads of people stopping here and wandering around, so this could be a real place of interest for those people.
Oh yes, the train comes here on the weekends in the summertime. They bring generally 250 or 300 people out to our country market, which is held in another building right on the same site. And we do tours here. People are really curious about elevators. So they come in and we take them all through and teach them about the elevator and how it worked. And we do all that just asking for donations. Okay. We don't charge for the train people. And
maybe one day this could be a museum.
Yes, we're really thinking that we would like to turn this into an interpretive center in the long term, a museum to grain. And so that's what we're working towards. It's our long-term goal.
Okay, so if people want more information about the grain elevator in Warren here, and maybe they can't make it, is there a place online they can visit to find out more or donate money?
Yes, you can go to www.westinterlaketradingcompany.com. It's all spelled out. And there's all the information about the elevator, the events we're having, and what we're trying to do here.
Great, thank you so much.
Thanks.
If you want to help save Warren's grain elevator, there's an event this Friday in Warren at the grain elevator right here. It takes place at 6 o'clock. It's a steak barbecue. A couple local politicians will be here. Auctioneer Ralph Eichler and James Bazan will be coming out for the event. At 7 o'clock, there's an auction, and everything from manure to local artwork will be up for auction, so you definitely want to come and see that. If you need more information, go online to www.westinterlaketradingcompany.com or just show up.